To His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, we are going under very difficult situation in this country. Life has become unbearable. We, the young youth, when we are doing business, because we believe, some of us believe in entrepreneurship, it is good to think on how our business could be secured even before and after elections.
So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome once again to Victors with Victor. And today in our show, I have a gentleman that I've seen growing up. I've seen it put effort and hard work into the work that he does. You're probably wondering why we have him on the show today. But the mood probably gives you an idea of what is happening. So I will just let our guest introduce himself. Karibu.
Asante. My name is John Kebaso, a resident of Rimbic Estate and a businessman too.
So you're from Kibera?
I'm from Kibera.
Okay. So I've seen you growing up, and business-wise, you're one of the people that I borrow from.
Yes.
Yeah, since I was a teenager, because of how much hard work and love you put into your work. I saw you starting a small business. Maybe you can tell people your story and how you started business and what year.
Yes. I came in Nairobi in 1999. I was in the National Military Service by then, and trained as a military. So after graduating from the National Service, we trained in several courses that I came out and started doing some. After some time, I realized that my talent was in business.
Yeah.
I started as a supplier of paint by Duraport, and then later I started my own business. That's around 2009. From 2003 to 2009, I was doing some business supply of paint to various hardwares and construction sites.
Right.
So after getting some few coins, I thought that it could be wise for me to open up my own shop where I would be starting trading from. After trading for some time, that's around the year 2011, I registered my own business under Olympic Interior and hardware business.
So just to take you back,
Yes.
from being a supplier with Duracord,
Yes.
into now starting to supply construction sites with paints.
Yes.
And then using this capital now to register the business at Olympic, okay?
Yes. Yes, after doing some supplies for a period of time, I was encouraged by some other businessmen of whom I used to supply paint. So one of my good friends called Ephraim Miner, in the business name is called Epcan, advised me to open my own store. By that time, I had a small store. I after listening to him carefully, I decided to have a store at Sheikh Karume Lane.
In town.
Yes. I did some business there for quite some time, but the land was high. And since the competition was very stiff, I decided to look for a location where my rent could be, I can be able to raise the rent, and have enough stock in the shop. That's when I decided to get a store at Olympic where I'm staying.
Yes.
I got a store and started a business there in 2009.
That was your first store, the one by the road, yes? Yes, I remember.
Yes. I just
on your way to
just opposed to the Olympic
State
terminus.
Terminus, yeah.
Yes. That was my first store. Thereafter, I got another kiosk down the road, immediately after stage. I did a structure there and put my stock there. Then I migrated from Olympic towards that far end. And then later, when the National Housing Corporation was coming to do construction on their site,
You were moved.
I was moved.
Yeah.
And I relocated to Kianda, where I rented a premise
Opposite Equity
Bank,
Yes.
where I used to pay a rent of 30,000 shillings per month.
Right.
After operating there for some time, I got a place now where my current business was located, and
You expanded.
did a lease
Right.
of 15 years,
Okay.
built on of the land, did construction by myself, and started doing stocking.
Right.
So I relocated now again the business from Kianda to Fort Jesus Junction there.
Yeah.
I stocked the shop until now, yesterday, when you see what has happened.
So I really followed you keenly because I remember when I was doing some building projects, I would come to your hardware and you would give me stuff and I would pay later.
Yes.
So I was a keen follower of your business and I
Yes.
was really inspired by how you were doing business.
Yes.
So now, tell us, the day before yesterday,
Yes.
you close your business,
Yes.
go back home.
Yes.
Then what happens?
We close as usual. We, in hardware shop, when it reaches 6, we close and go home.
Yes.
On Sunday, we don't open the business. Maybe when I've got free time, that's when I can go to the shop and do some stock taking,
Right.
and then go back to the house to rest. Now, since it was Sunday, on Monday we had understood that His Excellency, the former Prime Minister, had
Given
given
directions.
direction that we were going to have
Demonstrations, yeah.
that were to happen on Monday. I didn't go to the shop to open, but at around 9 in the morning, I left my house to go and see what was going on along the roads. So reaching Olympic stage, that's when I realized that there were a lot of skirmishes.
Yeah.
There were people who were after demonstrations, and there were some who were not after demonstrations.
They were looting.
Before even they start looting, the people who were interested in going to demonstrations were not able to go beyond Karanja Road.
Right.
And if they try to go through Nairobi Water Road towards Adams, there was a barrier Boris had erected along in Nairobi Water area there.
Right.
So people cannot access Ngong Road through via that road.
Yeah.
If they could push their way towards Karanja, they got rebellion from people residing in Makina Ward.
Right.
So now it started like a commotion of throwing stones and chanting slogans, all sorts of nonsense. Until around 3, when some few youths started now looting, vandalizing shops, and taking out some business merchandise. They started looting, learning here and there. The anti-protest, anti-pro-protest now started throwing stones and taking advantage of the situation to steal. By around 7, I returned back to my house to sleep because I was completely exhausted. Reaching the house.
So during this time
Yes.
of all these skirmishes,
Yes.
where were you?
I was there.
In the shop.
Outside the shop. I was not in the shop. I could not access the shop and open.
Okay.
So I was outside there looking on, waiting for any eventuality because I had seen the situation which had taken place of looting and
Right.
and actually panning some few kiosks along the right hand side could escalate. So I was just there waiting to see what would happen next. So until now, around 7:30, when I went home to take some supper, I got a call that now more youths have come from Makina Ward towards Olympic. I even didn't take my supper. I ran out And reaching down near my shop, I wrote that they have come in large number. This side, the youths who were willing to go to demonstrations having the money, they were pushing their way down. And the other team was pushing them backward. Now, when they boost, these guys who were willing to go to demonstrations the morning, and they boost up to Olympic stage, they took control of the junction where my business is located. And they panned some stalls there, some having kinyosi, some doing some tire repairs.
Right.
They put some fire. That's when I guessed that my business is going down. Because they were just next to my shop.
So you were watching it?
I was watching. So I tried to see what can be able to learn or evacuate some few things, but it was impossible. They started throwing stones, and actually they hit me very bad. With stones in my left hand, in my left leg. So we ran back. After that fire going up in Blaze, now they started using mallets and all sorts of crude weapon to break into my shop. They accessed the entry, got into my shop, stole everything, stole as much as they can, and they set the business ablaze.
So they looted everything, and then eventually they set the building on fire.
The business has one-story building. The ground floor is built for hardware business,
right,
and the upper floor is for a club. They tried to open the club, but it wasn't possible because I'd done a lot of reinforcement to it.
Right.
But after failing to get in, they threw some petrol and put it on fire.
They had petrol.
They had petrol. They had petrol. So that is how they did.
So you actually watched your business going down on fire.
Yes.
How did you feel then?
By that time, to be honest, what came into my mind was that I can land there and get finished there, because actually that was my whole life.
You became suicidal. You thought you should just
Yes,
kill
I just thought that it is better that I go and they kill me there. But my son, thank God he was there. My son pulled me back and told me, "Daddy, let us go home." So
I can only imagine, because I remember and I saw where you started, and you've been an inspiration to not me but a lot of young people in Kibera, the slums. Yeah, that's a really sad one. But you had a 15-year lease, and I remember you just started not more than 3 years ago.
About 4 now.
4 years.
Yes.
And being a loyal customer to you, I have seen how much your stock has grown over time.
Yes.
What was the business worth? The network?
The hardware business was, I did some stock taking because I wanted to get some insurance cover towards the business. I did it on that.
So you were about to get insurance
I was about to get insurance from the old mutual. I had a friend of mine who gave me a certain officer who was going to evaluate. They came on 3rd of this month. They did some evaluation. The evaluation was 13.2 million. Now, before I could complete the process of registering, that is what happened.
The business and fire.
That was for the hardware. And the club was 3.9 million worth of stock, and some furnitures, and the system, and the music. The building itself, which I did about 4 years ago, costed me 2.9 million.
So this is close to 20 million.
Close to 20 million shillings. That was my life. That is where my life was dependent on. That is where I get my money. I get some monies to educate my children. That's why I get some monies to learn up my life and take care of my family. I have some other dependents from the extended family whom I do take care of. I had a big burden on my shoulders. So by yesterday, what I'd made for the last 23 years
Yes.
was a turn to zero,
Ashes.
a turn to ashes. I don't have anywhere to go. Some other monies are taken from the bank as a loan to stop the shop so that I can learn my life. Now thinking of how I could leave Kibera and want to do some other business elsewhere. I don't know where. I don't know how to start. I don't know how to get the money to repay the loans in the bank and to get some money to start another business. Thinking life out of Kibera has become unbearable because it is where most of my life has been. And most of the people living around have become like my family. But now when they turn against one of their own, a person whom they know had nothing in those years, and today they can call in a Harambe to contribute something for an orphan somewhere to go to school. They turn against him and burn everything that he had. It's sad.
Yes, because not just business, but I also understand that you are supporting the community in not one way, but in so many ways. Honestly, I do not have words that I could say to express my sorrow for what happened. But when I walked into your shop and saw what happened, I was really shocked. So I personally, with Victors, we cannot do with much, but we hope to support your business with something.
Thank you.
And I really want to reach out. This is money you've worked for 20 years. So I am not able to raise that money, but I want to reach out to our followers, friends and families to support my brother here and my neighbor here, at least with whatever you're able to get. And this does not mean just friends and family, but if you're watching this and you see what I see and you feel what I feel, then there is need for us to be there for him. If you want to send him money via M-Pesa, his number is plus 2547.
27
Just tell the camera.
plus 727 863 444
Again.
plus 27 863 444.
And we'll leave his number on the screen and also his email. If you are not in Kenya and you'd like to send him money or wire him money or support him in one way or the other, please feel free to contact him also via WhatsApp, because I understand he has WhatsApp. And let's be able to lift him in this time of pain and loss. So what is it that you would like? I know these skirmishes were politically instigated.
Yes.
And it is because of the demonstration.
Yes, yes.
If President Ruto or Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga was watching this show, because I know they care about youth employment, and you're one of the people who've shown us in the community that we do not have to look for employment, but be able to start businesses that can be able to sustain us. Nobody would think that you would start a small business to a point of having a business of a net worth of 20 million, because you are an instrument and also an inspiration to the young people of this country. So what is it that you would like to tell our leaders, Honorable Prime Minister Raila Amolo Odinga and Honorable President William Samoei Ruto?
I don't have much to talk about these political leaders, but what I can tell for free is that in Kenya, we have not arrived at a stage of having peaceful demonstrations. That one I can guarantee, because I've been a victim in 2013 and 2017. Any time that we hear that there will be demonstrations, mind you, if you have business along the roads of Kibra constituency, take care of it. Unless you take back your stock to your house or go and hide it somewhere, as long as there is demonstrations, there will be no peaceful demonstrations, as much as I understand Kibra constituency is concerned.
Right.
But what I can tell again is this: it is a political problem, and it needs a political solution.
Right.
And then time, we as the electorate, with the voters, we want to queue from morning until evening. You elect a leader. When elections are over, I think it is good to give time and space, and if there are any other problems, to be solved politically, rather than involving the electorate to a point of losing the small they have. To His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Kenya, His Excellency Dr. William Samoei Ruto, we are going under very difficult situation in this country. Life has become unbearable. With the young youth, when we are doing business, because some of us believe in entrepreneurship, it is good to think on how our business could be secured even before and after elections, because we cannot afford to lose the business immediately after elections. Every year when there is elections, we feel that sometimes we feel that the election not to come,
Because we have to restart again.
because we have to restart again. You can imagine somebody who has never been the payroll of the government of Kenya, who has struggled his own way to get to a point of where we are, and then you are turned to zero. Our children are in school. Most of the houses that we live in are rental houses. We don't have our own houses.
Yeah.
You're supposed to pay rent, to pay some other utilities, water and electricity and whatever. To buy unga, which has gone up, to get the water, to drink in the houses, is a problem. And then you arise in the morning, you find that the tomorrow you had is not there. Can you imagine even the day of yesterday alone, before 10, I debated my suppliers 40,000 shillings, hoping that today it would be better for me to go and open so that I can get some cash for me to have food in my table. Now, the food I expected to get from my shop is not there. Simply because of what? Demonstrations. I think it is good for these political leaders to understand that as much as they are pushing for fair and justice after elections, let them also consider the small wananchi who is living in the slums, the life after demonstrations and the life after demonstrations. Because after demonstrations, mwananchi will go back on his own way to get his life continue. Before or during the demonstrations, Mwananchi is also suffering here because he's the one who is being used to articulate the ambition of a certain leader. For how long are we going to live this way? It is sad.
It is very sad, my brother, and I must applaud you for your strength and for being able to hold. I'm not really sure if I was in your situation, if I would still
I've
be
been crying
alive.
this morning, but as a man, you cry anyway. I've been crying this morning.
I
have
think
no
it is
another
very
story.
okay to cry. It is very okay to cry. Because keeping all that emotions, I
Yes,
got
yes.
emotional when I walked into your shop and I
Yes.
saw it, knowing where you come from. And I must applaud you and I must say you are very strong. And that is why I think it is very okay. For me, I feel like with what you've done, it is very okay for the community now to give back to you in this case. Because you did not sleep anticipating that you would wake up with 20 million worth of goods burnt to ashes.
My good brother, I've come from a very humble background. If I tell you the story from home, you will sympathize with me. It is a sad situation.
Yeah, it's okay, brother. It's okay. It's okay if you, it's okay to cry. The same God who guided you through that humility and where you came from, I believe He won't stop now. So, like I said, we don't really have much to share, but I just wanted to read a scripture from Deuteronomy 31:6. It says, "Be strong and courageous. Do not fear or be in dread of them, for it is the Lord your God who goes with you. He will not leave you or forsake you."
Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we close the show, and also we want to reach out to our honorable leaders. You might be doing this with good intent, but we plea unto you to please drop your egos and show us the way. We woke up very early in the morning to elect you so you could lead us. But as a people, we are very confused when we see young leaders in our community who inspire us to be better young people. Because of these young people, young leaders, the rate of crime in Kibera and around Nairobi has gone down because we see the positive work they do. And we want to do better as we get inspired by them. But when we see this effort burnt into ashes, it leaves us with no hope. So we want to reach out to you, and leaders, you should come and reach out to him and really be able to comfort him in one way or the other. But as we close the show, I want to say, brother, the good Lord is with you.
Amen.
And he shall not forsake you whatsoever. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for watching Victors with Victor. Let's stand with this Victor in this time of difficulty in whatever way. Again, his number is down on the screen. If you have M-Pesa or anything or want to reach him via WhatsApp, the number is down on the screen.
Thank you very much, Victor. Thank you, gentlemen.
No, thank you very much.
Thank you for your time. And I think that the Lord will help for us.
I wish you the best, all the best.
Thank you very much.
And keep inspiring us.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oof.